This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876 309 6128. That's 876 309 6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876 586 0471. That's 876 586 0471. This video is brought to you by Starboys Juices. Infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Refreshing and nutritious. Call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to watch this video in particular. But let me give you an update on a channel called Sport City. Yes, Sport City. It is a channel dedicated to everything related to Jamaican sports. Football, cricket, athletics, netball, rugby league, rugby union, tennis, lacrosse, swimming, you name it, we got it on Sport City. And what is the channel designed to do? It is designed to highlight Jamaican talents across all of those sporting disciplines. If you're a Jamaican and you're playing that sport, then we got you covered on Sport City. So it's quite simple, guys. Hit the subscribe button to Sport City right now.
Hi, my name is Lee Williamson. Subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary.
Hi, my name is Joby McAnuff. Subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary.
Hi everybody, I'm Darren Moore and you're watching Reggae Boys Commentary.
Skin clean and nice and ting and ting. I'm Tiffany Cannon, Reggae Girl Striker, and you are watching the Reggae Boys Commentary. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Hello everyone, I'm Simon Preston and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary. This is the platform where we come together to discuss everything in relation to Jamaican football. This is your hub for everything Jamaican football related. And good news, exciting news, brilliant news, pulsating, riveting, compelling, enthralling news as Michail Antonio and West Ham United are through to the semi-finals of the UEFA Europa Conference League. What a last few years it has been for Michail Antonio. August 2021, he became West Ham United's all-time top scorer in the Premier League. The next month, he made his debut for the Reggae Boys. He helped his team go to the semi-finals of the Europa League. And now this season, they're in the semi-finals of another European competition. Last year, West Ham United were in the semi-finals of the Europa League. Now they're in the semi-finals of the UEFA Europa Conference League. European football at the London Stadium. Wow. Absolutely wow. It's brilliant, it's exciting, and we're excited to see our own Jamaican talent come to the fore and make such a solid imprint on things. Michail Antonio has now 6 goals in the UEFA Europa Conference League this season, and my, what a journey it has been. He's now scored 11 goals in 39 appearances in all competitions. In the league, he might not be tallying what he has done the last 3 seasons, which has get double digits, where he scored 10 goals, 10 goals, 10 goals in each of the last 3 seasons. However, he has contributed in all competitions, having scored goals in the FA Cup and also scoring goals in the League Cup and also scoring in the UEFA Europa Conference League this season. So Michail Antonio has contributed with goals in all competitions this season. And West Ham United, although it has been a difficult season in relation to the form and where they are currently within the Premier League right now, because they're just 4 points above the drop zone with a game in hand. In Europe, it has been a special time frame to remember. And that is all due to the performances that they have been putting in the UEFA Europa Conference League. Well, Michail Antonio, what was his performance like today? Well, for Michail Antonio, his performance today, he tallied 2 goals, scoring in the 37th and 63rd minutes for West Ham United in a 4-1 triumph over Belgian club Ghent. And that's 5-2 on aggregate after the first leg in Belgium ended 1-1. Lucas Paqueta scored for the Hammers as well, the Brazilian in the 55th minute, while Declan Rice scored in the 58th minute. You know the song, If You're in the Middle like Declan Rice? Yep, that's right. Declan Rice on the score sheet. And I know there's some action still going on in the UEFA Europa Conference League as FC Basel over in Switzerland. They still have time left in stoppage time as they take on Nice. They're up 2-1 in the game and 4-3 on aggregate as well. But that doesn't affect West Ham United, because West Ham United, I'm going to tell you right now who they will face in the semi-finals at this moment in time. That's right, I'm going to tell you right now. Mr. Galaxy says Antonio was on it today. Antonio was superb. And guys, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the like button. And after you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content. All right, guys? Really appreciate it. So, what does this result mean? West Ham United are, that's right, through. They're through to the semi-finals, and that means that they'll face AZ Alkmaar. Yep, that's right. West Ham United will face AZ Alkmaar in the semi-finals of the UEFA Europa Conference League. The semi-finals will take place on May 11 and May 18. The first leg will be in London at the London Stadium, while the second leg will take place at the AFAS Stadion in Alkmaar in the Netherlands. So first leg at home, second leg away. My preference is having the first leg in away and the second leg at home. That's my personal preference, but it is what it is in terms of West Ham United and their commitments. They will be taking on a very decent Azad Alkmaar team in terms of what they have to do and come to fruition. They do have an abundance of talent, likes of Jordi Klassi, Jens Odgaard from Denmark as well, Milos Kerkez out of Hungary as well, Matt Ryan from Australia as well. So they have individuals that are match winners that are capable of pulling off the job for them in particular. So Azad Alkmaar, they defeated Anderlecht to get to the stage of the competition and needed penalties, Azad Alkmaar, to get to the semi-finals itself. So when will these semi-final matches take place? Well, West Ham United will host the first leg on May 11 and the second leg will be on May 18. All right. So May 11 for the first leg and May 18 for the second leg. The final, well, I'm going to tell you the situation that we're going to have a discussion about right now. Dan B says, Manu, ha, 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 ha. What do you mean, ha, 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 ha? I don't understand what you're saying with that statement in particular. Dan B says, Simon, what happened there, brother? Are you talking about Manchester United against Sevilla today? Well, there's a reason why the name of the trophy is called the Sevilla Cup. Because when Sevilla plays in the UEFA Europa League, they turn into prime 1982 Brazil. They turn into prime 1970 Brazil. They turn into 1998 France, they turn into 2002 Brazil, and they turn into 2014 Germany. When it comes to the Europa League, Sevilla poses a lot of problems, and that's exactly what transpired today. In many ways, it is disappointing because you'd want to have a deep run in the competition. A quarterfinals run, it's not bad for a first season under Eric Ten Hag, and there's still one more trophy that is up for offer this season in particular, and that is the FA Cup. Now, there are 8 games left in the Premier League for Manchester United, and when you include the 2 games that are to come in the FA Cup, that means that Manchester United could play 10 games before the end of the season. So they could very much be able to win one more trophy this campaign and stop Manchester City from winning the treble. So on Saturday, it's going to be Manchester City against Sheffield United, and that is going to be at 10:45 a.m. 10:45 a.m. on Saturday. On Sunday, it's going to be Brighton and Hove Albion against Manchester United, and that game in particular will take place on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. That's Sunday at 10:30 a.m. And of course, it's highly anticipated that it will be a Manchester derby in the final. But let's see. Let's see. There's a lot that could open up. So we're just going to have to give it a little bit of time. But as it stands, that's what we're looking at this point in time. So let's see how everything unfolds. Our good friend Darren Moore at Sheffield Wednesday, they play Exeter at home on Saturday, and then they're away to Shrewsbury on April 29, and then they end the season at home to Derby County. But remember, where they occupy right now is third, and by getting into the automatic top 2, that means that they avoid the playoffs. And Ipswich, they're a point ahead, and Plymouth Argyle are 2 points ahead. And both those teams, they have a game in hand. So what does that mean? It means Sheffield Wednesday will have to win their remaining games to be able to ensure that they are in the top 2 and promoted to the championship for next season. But still plenty of games to go by here. But there is a dilemma that we need to speak about. And I'm going to mention it right now just so that you guys are aware right now. Finished? What do you mean finished? This is the first season. Great things are to come. Yes, I watched the game from start to finish. No, not to do. West Ham said no to Sevilla last season. Yeah, indeed. So let's talk a little bit now about the UEFA Europa Conference League. All right. Remember that the semifinals are May 11 and also May 18. You guys follow me? What I'm saying right now? Okay. With that being said, that's the semifinals. Let's say that West Ham United gets to the final of the UEFA Europa Conference League, right? Let's say they get to the final. All right? Good. With that being said, no. But yes, Mr. Galaxy, you are right. Last season, it was Sevilla that won the first leg, and West Ham won the second leg 2-0 with Suchek and Yarmolenko scoring. And it was Eintracht Frankfurt that stopped them from, yeah. But yes, let's talk now. All right. So, with that being said, no. Do you guys know when is the final of the UEFA Europa Conference League? The final of the UEFA Europa Conference League lies on June 7. Do you guys know what that means? With the final set for June 7, that means that Michail Antonio basically would be unavailable if there is a friendly match for the Reggae Boys in that particular time frame, and that he would just have to depart from where he is in the Europa League final. Hopefully he wins the trophy, enjoy the festivities for the night, lifting the trophy, a champagne, and then he has to prepare himself to win another trophy. You understand what I'm saying? Well, that is the situation that we have to consider right now. Because the Gold Cup starts on the 16th, but Jamaica's game is on the 24th, right? So that in itself is 17 days before Jamaica's first game. But you want Michail Antonio to be within the United States at least a week before the Gold Cup itself. In the United States, acclimatizing, gelling, getting accustomed to the and getting ready for the first game of the tournament, which of course is against the United States. So that for me would be what is needed and what would need to happen. Of course, of course. It is close to the Gold Cup. And the reality of the situation is, Mr. Galaxy, is that we have a number of players as well that will be involved in the playoffs. For example, Amari Bell will be involved within the English Championship playoffs with Luton Town, and they have a genuine chance to be promoted to the Premier League. And when you bear in mind Championship playoff final, League One playoff final, League Two playoff final, which Adrian Mariappa could put himself involved in, you could have a situation where you have a couple of players arriving into camp days before the opener against the United States. So this is something that has to be thought about thoroughly in terms of, okay, Adrian Mariappa has just promoted his team to League One. Okay, Michail Antonio has just won the UEFA Europa Conference League. Okay, Amari Bell has just won the Championship playoffs and will be promoted to the Premier League. That day, they collect their medal, they enjoy the champagne, but the very next day, they relax, or that same day, they travel across the Atlantic to meet up for the Gold Cup. So those are the elements that we need to consider. Yeah, Johnny Moore, Sevilla in the Europa, in the Champions League under Jose Mourinho 2017-2018. Yeah, it's a tough one. Captain Jamaica would have scored 2 versus Mexico if he was available. Yeah. And you guys know what's interesting in terms of Michail Antonio and his contribution for Jamaica? 2 of Michail Antonio's 3 goals have come on Central American soil. That's right. Michail Antonio scored his first goal against El Salvador, scored against the United States at the office, and of course against Panama in Panama. So 2 of those 3 goals came on Central American soil itself. Think about that. Think about how great that is. You know what I'm saying? How does that sound? Well, something worth considering. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. That's the situation. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So there we go. You know what I'm saying? So, we can be delighted and happy about. Ian Campbell says, bless up everybody. Hey Ian, how are you doing, sir? I hope you're doing well. Ajani Moore says, I hope West Ham make it to the finals. Antonio lifting that trophy would bring him in hunger for the Gold Cup. I agree, and winning breeds confidence and hunger, desire, as you made mention as well, and let him have the best summer of his life. Win the Europa Conference League and also win the Gold Cup as well. And then when he goes back to West Ham, he focuses on the Europa League. You know what I'm saying? So it's something, and he'll also go down in history at West Ham United being a legend, because West Ham United don't win many trophies. They won an FA Cup before the 90s, but it's not many trophies, and they're yearning for this especially with the caliber of the stadium that they have. Can't wait to see that front three: Demar Gray, Michail Antonio, Leon Bay. Yeah, that's a tasty front three, isn't it? Very much so. A front three that is capable of great things. But give it time. Yep, give it time, and we'll see how all of that falls into place. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that works out. You know, let's give it a little bit of time, and we'll see. Mr. Galaxy says, exciting stuff. It is, but for me, the only concern is that the UEFA Europa Conference League final is on June 7, and June 7 is when you think about it, it's 17 days before the Gold Cup. So you have an opportunity to play the final, celebrate, lift the trophy, have some champagne. You travel the next day, you take a day to acclimatize to that time zone, to the Western world, across the Atlantic. And then after that, what it will mean is to be acclimatized to things. Yes, Mr. Campbell, of course. Very long time, Mr. Campbell. You've spoken about his name quite often. You've mentioned his name quite often, I remember. Very much so. So, the truth is, Reggae Boys fans, we have internationals, Jamaican internationals, that are in contention for the Championship playoffs, League One playoffs, and League Two playoffs. So these players are vying for promotion to the Premier League, to the Championship, also to League One as well. We have players within that contention as well. And with those players that are in contention, the playoff finals for those events will be the first week of June. So we're going to have to monitor that game by game to see their performances, how they're doing, and what is required, what is left with all of those assets and factors in mind. Okay, so we will bear that in mind and we'll analyze those situations fluently. Okay, so that is something that we can work about. So something we can process. Okay, guys, so West Ham United, yep, they are through. West Ham United are through to the semifinals. They'll face AZ Alkmaar in the semifinals. And West Ham United will be looking to go one step further than they did last season. In the Europa League, it was a semifinals exit. Now in the UEFA Europa Conference League, they're looking to go one step further again. But can you believe it? Back-to-back semifinals in European competitions. That's something that you have to applaud as well for West Ham as well. Remember when they moved to the London Stadium in 2016? Many people did not, I should say, West Ham United fans were not happy because Upton Park was the home, or the Bowling was their home for so many years. It had a great atmosphere, great results in terms of the team being able to get victories, and it was a place that was considered home for many years. It was a place to link up, versus when you come to the London Stadium, which is essentially an athletic stadium because the seats are further away from the field itself than the Bowling itself. You know what I'm saying? So that's the situation there. So the first time that there was a season at the London Stadium was the 2016-2017 season, and West Ham finished 11th that year. 11th in that season. In fact, in their opening 6 games, they won 1 and lost 5. This is their opening 6 games. I mean, Michail Antonio will go down in history as well for being the first player to score in the Premier League for West Ham United at the London Stadium against Bournemouth. 85th minute goal against Bournemouth. So he'll have that with him, something that he will appreciate. He also scored against, Watford. Some good goals there as well. Dimitri Payet and Michail Antonio were the first 2 goal scorers there, After an 11th place finish in 2017, 2018 it was a 13th place finish. 2019 it was a 10th place finish. And in the season of COVID, it was a 16th place finish. But the 2020-2021 season where there's no fans, West Ham finished 6th place, which meant that they'd play Europa League football. Last season, they finished 7th in the league, and they also got to the semi-finals of the Europa League and quarterfinals of the League Cup. This season, just a few points above the relegation zone, and they're in the semi-finals of a European Cup competition. If West Ham United won the UEFA Europa Conference League and got relegated, how do you think the fans would feel? Okay, they're going to the championship, but they won a European trophy. And when they're in the championship, they're going to play in the UEFA Europa League. You know, isn't that what football is about? Winning trophies? Football is about success, that thrill. It'd be interesting to hear how West Ham United fans feel about that matter in particular. Something to ponder about, because there are some aspects that should be analyzed and should be definitely thought about. But a great thing to consider. You know what I mean? So that's the situation, guys. That's where we are. Early prediction of the USA Jamaica World Cup opener. Ajani Moore, it's too early. Too early to do that. I don't think it's fair to do it when you have 2 months and 4 days to go before that game. It's way too early for that, Ajani. A lot can happen in 2 months. I hope all our players are available for the Gold Cup. When the time comes, that trophy should come home July. That's right. That Gold Cup should come home on July 17. Charles Ramos says, big up Simon. Big up Charles. How are you? Hope you're doing good. Reece Nelson can play central attacking midfield also. Yes, he has that versatility. That's true. Remember when Antonio scored 4 versus Norwich? That would be a good day. Tevin Campbell says, but I would love to see Morgan Gibbs-White at Nottingham Forest. Good player, isn't he? Morgan Gibbs-White. Supremely talented. I like what he's all about as a player. Really talented. For sure. Has all the natural ability, acumen to succeed. Very much so. I'm pleased with his work, for sure. So that's how I feel. You know? Yeah. So yes, guys, Michail Antonio and West Ham United are through to the semi-finals of the UEFA Europa Conference League. Guys, we'll be back later this evening, about minutes to 7 o'clock Jamaica time, where we do another live to keep you guys updated with everything Jamaican football. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much. And we'll be back at 7 o'clock for another live, so that you guys can stay tuned with things. We should, Mr. Smith. Antonio is on form. Right now, they'll finish the season strong. Hope they don't get relegated. Yeah, I think West Ham will be fine. And I just want them to get to the final and Michail Antonio to win 2 trophies this summer. The Gold Cup and the UEFA Europa Conference League. All right, guys. We'll be back later this evening for another live. All right? See you guys soon. This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is brought to you by Starboys Juices, infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Refreshing and nutritious. Call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904